back with another OP league. Here you can see the stats. And we are facing off against the Miami Heat. And they got Chris Paul, Allen Iverson, James Worthy, Chris Webber, Willis Reed, Jason Kidd, Pau Gasol, Joe Johnson, another Allen Iverson, Vlade Divac, Richard Jefferson, David West, and Antoine Walker. I actually like our matchup in this one. I think we're going to do pretty good. But got a lot to talk about. If you haven't heard, which I'm sure you have, LD2k has officially left the 2K community. He's no longer a community manager. Now, I'll speak for myself. I didn't really, deal with the community managers much, but you can always tell from afar like who's actually like involved in the community. I always felt like LD2k was really the one who was involved. As you see our record right there, 2 games back out of first place. But I always felt like he was one of the ones that was like actually involved in the community. He seemed to always respond, and so people are having all kind of speculations. And they think that, it's because he got tired of 2K. He saw the writing on the wall. He didn't agree with what's going on in 2K19. And I actually have a different take on it. I kind of think the guy just made a business decision. He just decided to make a career move. I mean, that's a possibility, These guys, change companies a lot. I mean, Mike Wayne started with 2K, then went to EA with NBA Live, and then now he's back with 2K. So these guys switch around all the time. I wouldn't make too much of it. I mean, NBA Live starts a long way before its competition with 2K. I think NBA Live this year, 18, is a great building block, a great stepping stone. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think of LD2k leaving the 2K community? What do you guys think about that? Also, another big news, Lonzo Ball. Some people are calling him Lonzo Bust. I made a joke the other day that when they upgrade the 2K ratings, they shouldn't give Lonzo a rating. They should just give him a brown shirt. They should just give him a brown shirt. But I heard he went down. I haven't checked it, but I heard he went down to a 77 in these latest 2K ratings. So it's pretty interesting. I think, his dad was a great salesman. His dad definitely oversold him. I heard one NBA analyst say that if it wasn't for his dad, then he probably wouldn't have went number 2. He might have went lower in the draft, but his dad really talked him up. And LA kind of had to take him. He's from LA, went to UCLA, and he was on record saying he wanted to be a Laker. So it was kind of a pick that they had to make. But, I mean, he is literally the worst shooter in the NBA. Like, it's not like figurative. It's not hating. Like, it's facts. Like, by every statistic, he's the worst shooter in the NBA. So, and people say like, Lonzo Ball isn't a shooter, which I think is ridiculous to say, because the whole point of basketball is to put the ball in the hoop. So, I mean, don't think you're going to be in the NBA for very long if you can't shoot. I understand he's a pass first point guard, but that shot's got to start dropping at some point. I think that he was, I think he'll be a good NBA player. We never know what can happen. People are saying, Jason Kidd struggled at the beginning. Gary Payton struggled at the beginning, and they were also number 2 picks. But we'll see. I mean, I'm not rooting for Lonzo either or. I mean, I'm not like a Lakers fan, but I'm also not hoping that the kid bust. So I don't really have, stock in it either way. But, I've watched a few Lakers games because I live here in LA. And, yeah, I think he's just got to adjust to the NBA game. He looks lost out there. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of Lonzo Ball? I think he looks lost out there. To be 100% honest with you, I just think he looks lost. He's not quite sure of himself. I think people are saying, oh, he has more pressure on him than LeBron James. I say slow down with all that. But here's what I will say about Lonzo Ball. Here's what I will say. I feel like people are giving him too much of a break. And here's why I say that. I say that for a couple reasons. Number one, you're the number 2 overall pick in the draft. Okay? When you are drafted that high, you're going to get a lot of scrutiny. And it's for a reason. Because you were projected to be the best or the second best player coming out of the draft. So, of course, you're going to get a ton of scrutiny. Also, you're the starting point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers is probably the most, famous NBA franchise. We know the Celtics has the most championships, but arguably the Lakers is the most famous of every NBA franchise. And so when you're the starting point guard of the Los Angeles Lakers and Magic Johnson goes on record saying this is your team, you're the face of the franchise, you're going to get a lot of scrutiny. And I think it's fair. I think it's very fair. I don't think the kid should be coddled. I don't think this whole excuse of, oh, he's just a rookie, give him time. Like, I feel like when you're the starting point guard of the Los Angeles Lakers, I mean, look at D'Angelo Russell. He was scrutinized for 2-3 years, I mean, it just comes with the territory. His dad hyped him up. I think his dad oversold him. His dad definitely oversold him. I mean, it was clear he was overselling him. I mean, the guy said he was better than Steph Curry. I mean, you can't even mention those guys in the same breath. I mean, he's not the best rookie on his team. Kyle Kuzma is beast mode, man. So he's got a lot to work on. I think he'll be good. Obviously, he can't change his shot in the middle of the season, but it was interesting. I was listening to a coach talk about him, and you guys know I used to be a high school coach, and it's very interesting hearing coaches talk to him. I think from a coach's perspective, you definitely got to leave him out there because you don't want to kill the guy's confidence. I know some people are saying send him to the G League, but in all honesty, you can't do that. That'll destroy the guy's confidence. I mean, if he's the starting point guard, he's got to be the starting point guard. The good news is they play the Suns. Oh, we'll get to the Suns later. I'm recording 6 videos today, so you'll hear me talk about a lot of things that are happening this week. But obviously these videos are going to come out later, so we'll get to the Suns in a little bit here. But the good news is they play the Suns next, and that is the worst team in the NBA. So, and last time he played them, he nearly had a triple-double. So it'll be interesting to see what Lonzo Ball does, how his career goes. I honestly think this is what we're going to get from him this year. Like, I don't think it's going to get too much better. I know people are saying, oh, it's only been 15 games. 15 games is quite a bit. Like, let's not be stupid here. Like, that's nearly 1/5 of the season. So we're talking about nearly 20% of the season is over. So, I mean, let's not act like that's not something. I think what you see is what you get at this point. I think and what you've seen is 2 good games where he, had a really good game against Dallas, and then another game where he got that triple-double. But everything else has been, and teams are leaving him open. Teams are daring him to shoot. And so that jumper's got to get going. I'm surprised of his not being able to finish around the rim. Speaking of not being able to finish around the rim, I went and played ball tonight in my rec league, and I could not hit a shot tonight. I was just dropping dimes because I just couldn't hit anything tonight. But I'm not in the NBA. Nobody cares. Just a bunch of old guys playing basketball. But yeah, what do you guys think about Lonzo Ball? What do you think he needs to do to get it going here? I'm tired of hearing like this he's a pass first point guard excuse. Like, I think that's an excuse. Like, I don't care that you're a pass first point guard. Like, you're a point guard. And the fact that he's not playing in the fourth quarter is something. Like, let's not try to act like that's nothing. When you're starting point guard, the starting point guard now. The point guard is, arguably the most important position in basketball, arguably. And when your starting point guard sits for the entire fourth quarter, that's something. That is a clear indication that he still needs to develop. He's still not all the way ready yet. But, it is what it is. I think he'll get there. Like I said, man, Kyle Kuzma is definitely the best rookie on their team. And I honestly think, I think he gets too much credit for how good the Lakers are. Because in all honesty, I think all those guys worked very hard in the offseason. And I think the rest of his team deserves credit as well. Because it's just not consistent. Because on one hand, we're giving him all this credit for changing the Lakers culture. But then on the other hand, we're sitting them down in the fourth quarter. So which is it? Is he the reason that the Lakers are changing? Or is he the guy that we can't trust in the fourth quarter? Like, which is it? And so it's conflicted. I live in LA, so I hear it bad. Everyone's got a reason why he's the next Magic Johnson and better than LeBron and all this stuff. But as you guys see here in the OP League, I haven't even talked about the game here, man. We are up by 19 or 21 at this point after MJ gets that. And this was a good game right here. Start off pretty tight, and then we broke it open. And the season's really heating up. Like I said, I got 6 videos that I'm shooting today for you guys. We'll probably release some 1 or 2 a day over the next few days. But it's definitely heating up. I think after that, we will be more than halfway done with all the teams. I told you guys I would bring you guys all 29 teams. And I think once I upload these 6, we'll be at 17. So we'll be more than halfway done with all the teams here. And as you see, Kevin Durant hit the 3 from the corner. Really starting to get the hang of this team. And the games are really cool. Some games are like this where I break it open. And other games, it's close. Other games, I'm getting blown out. So I'm really looking forward to the playoffs in the OP League because I feel like, it's going to be fun. It's going to be unpredictable, Like I feel like in the Jackson Baldwin series, and actually we've seen me lose a couple playoff series in the Jackson Baldwin. But for the most part, when I'm playing with Jackson Baldwin, I'm fairly confident that we're going to win because Jackson Baldwin is just so unstoppable. I mean, the guy just can't be beat in any way, shape, or form. Could you imagine if Ben Simmons played like Jackson Baldwin? If you're familiar with our Jackson Baldwin series, could you imagine? Man, that'd be crazy. It's possible. We'll talk about Ben Simmons and the Sixers. I got an interesting theory on the Sixers. Interesting theory. It's kind of on the process. But we'll talk about it in the next video. This video, I want to talk about Lonzo Ball and the Lakers. And it'll be interesting. I also heard something else interesting. I think this would be cool. They will have to wait 2 years to do it. But what if Klay Thompson came to the Lakers? If they play their cards right, they'll have the money in 2 years. But Klay Thompson would be perfect for that offense. Particularly with Lonzo Ball, who likes to run the ball, get the ball up the court. Klay Thompson is a guy who can shoot. He can finish at the rim. His dad played for the team. They're trying to reinvigorate Showtime Lakers. What better way to reinvigorate Showtime Lakers than to get the kid of a former Showtime Laker? So that looked like a backcourt. But we are definitely going to get out of here with the win as Shaq slams it home. And we're going to blow these guys out by 40. So I don't think the Heat will make it to the finals. And if they do, we're not really worried about them. But I'm going to take you guys through some stats here. But hey, if you're new and you like the video, go ahead and like it if you like it. Subscribe if you're new. I will be doing the giveaway very, very soon. I got some vlog stuff. A lot of you guys are requesting vlogs. So I got some vlogging content. Actually, my millionaire friend, I have a friend that's a millionaire. They actually flew into town. And we're going to be shooting some vlogging stuff. So that's going to be fun. So I am doing the giveaway very soon. I will have another Unleash Your Greatness coming up. But again, like it if you like it. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you next time.